South Park is a show that constantly crosses the line. It's what we expect when tuning into an episode. However, sometimes an episode can take things a little too far, leaving viewers boycotting or countries censoring. So today on Top 10 Beyond the Screen, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 10 shocking South Park episodes that took things too far. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. In at number 10, Woodland Critters. In one particular episode titled Woodland Critter Christmas, the show takes a truly dark and depressing turn that one can expect from South Park. In the episode, a group of woodland critters ask Stan for help in stopping an evil mountain lion from killing one of the creatures, which has conceived what they believe to be their savior. However, it turns out that the animals themselves are Satanists, and their savior is the Antichrist. Messed up, I know. However, things get so much worse and incredibly gory. The woodland critters sacrifice Rabbity the rabbit and then devour his entrails. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. No one has time for that, especially not me. In at number 9, The Stick of Truth. A lot of people will be familiar with the South Park video game, The Stick of Truth, which is close enough to the actual show and therefore I am including it on our list. Now, the game was quite literally centered around farting, specifically learning a fart martial art, as well as fighting alien conspiracy hobos and Nazi zombies. However, some specific moments resulted in the game being banned or at least censored. Some scenes that crossed a line and went too far included a graphic anal probing using sexual toys, and scenes in which the player had to survive an abortion, both involving using the controller to press the button clench sphincter. Yikes. You can understand why it was so controversial now. In at 8, Christopher Reeve defeats disability. As most will know, Christopher Reeve was a former Superman who sadly passed away after falling into a coma. Prior to that, he had been suffering several illnesses and ailments, all stemming from a severe injury after falling off of a horse during an equestrian competition, and leaving him a quadriplegic. Back to South Park though, you may be surprised to hear that Matt and Trey have actually been praised in the past for their inclusion of disabilities in the show. However, in the episode Crazy Cripples, things changed. Timmy and Jimmy start a club for cripples and end up in a gang war with notorious street gang Blood and Crips. Enter Christopher Reeve, who visits South Park to spread awareness of stem cell research, until it's revealed that in order for him to regain mobility, Christopher Reeve is cracking open fetuses and sucking out the juice. Absolutely horrific. In at number 7, Indiana Jones is assaulted. Now, trigger warning incoming. In the episode titled The China Problem, South Park goes to extreme lengths in order to show just how badly South Park creators Stone and Parker hated Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I mean, most people with taste didn't like that movie. It did have Cate Blanchett though, aka the only redeeming factor, but still it was a trash movie. So to show how much they hated the film, Stone and Parker had Steven Spielberg and George Lucas sexually assault Indiana Jones 3 times. Disgusting. It also kind of mimicked the film The Accused starring Jodie Foster, which is a horrible film about sexual assault. In at 6, Cartman's Revenge. We discussed this point in our previous video, top 10 TV show moments that took things too far, but it was worth reiterating because it is so damn savage. Honestly, in the episode titled Scott Tenorman Must Die, Cartman seeks revenge on Scott, an older kid who bullies and cons Cartman. So what does Cartman do? He creates a chili eating contest, which prior to, he tricks Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman into being murdered by a crazy farmer, chops them up and puts them into a chili, which Scott then eats. And when Scott discovers that he is quite literally eating his parents, he begins to cry. So Cartman, the psychopath, then licks away his tears. Horrible. In at number 5, the Scientology reveal. Scientology is constantly ridiculed across all forms of media because it is a joke. Sorry. But believe what you want to believe, I don't care. In the episode Trapped in the Closet, South Park ridicules Scientology for a second time, and in this episode quite literally put Tom Cruise in a closet that he wouldn't come out of. However, things get a whole lot worse and way more offensive. In one scene, Matt and Trey tell the story of an evil alien Lord Xenu, the story on which Scientologists base their beliefs, with the caption, "This is what Scientologists actually believe." Yikes, I mean, they're telling the truth, but it's safe to say Scientologists weren't too pleased confused about that one. Coming in at number 4, the death of Britney. We live in a truly terrible world if the queen herself, Britney Spears, is being murdered on South Park. Life just isn't fair. In one particular episode of South Park, after learning that paparazzi earn crazy amounts of money, the South Park boys attempt to snap a pic of Britney, luring her in to defecate on Butters dressed as a squirrel. Yeah, I know. It doesn't work though, so they say they're Britney's children, and the singer gets her hopes up that her children have actually come to see her. Oh boy, that's actually really sad. However, things take a turn later on in the episode when it's revealed that the reason Britney is harassed so much is because she must be killed as a human sacrifice required for a good harvest. So what happens? They kill her, and then photograph her dying body on the floor. Yay, Britney. Her greatest work. Coming in at number 3, the Penn State scandal. In season 15, episode 14, titled Poor Kid, South Park has an incredibly dark and sensitive plot which wasn't just too soon, it just should never have happened. In the episode, we see Kenny and his siblings taken into care after their parents are jailed for running a meth lab. That alone is a touchy subject, however things go a step further when the caseworker, Mr. Adams, makes some pretty dark jokes referring to the Penn State child sexual abuse scandal. Now yes, this was in poor taste, however South Park has always been good at bringing important things to light, such as this subject. It just wasn't the time, that's all I'm gonna say. In at 2, Steve Irwin is in hell. Of course South Park would make a Satan camp, but how dare they put Steve Irwin in it? Unforgivable. Anyway, in the episode titled Hell on Earth 2006, South Park took things way too far when Steve Irwin appeared at Satan's party, complete with a stingray still hanging out of his chest. Worse still, Satan thinks he's just someone in costume, so he tells Steve he's upsetting people with his costume and that it's too soon. He then finds out it is Steve Irwin and then proceeds to kick him out of the party for not wearing a costume. It's cringy and a sensitive subject that should have been left alone, but it's actually really damn funny and I respect it. And finally, coming in at number 1, censorship wars. Some of the most controversial South Park episodes of all time are Cartoon Wars 1 and 2 and 200/201, with the latter even resulting in death threats towards the creators. However, let's start with Cartoon Wars, which covered the topic of censorship with no subtlety whatsoever. In the episode, terrorists threaten America because Family Guy were going to show a depiction of the Muslim prophet Muhammad, so in turn, Kyle and Cartman tried to stop Fox airing the episode. They of course fail. Matt and Trey planned to show the prophet as part of the Family Guy episode, however Comedy Central blocked the image in real life. Shocker. Now episode 200 and 201 see everyone the show has ever mocked or ridiculed seek revenge and getting help from Muhammad because he cannot be ridiculed. It was these episodes that encouraged Muslim radicalists to send a message to the show telling them not to show the prophet, otherwise there would be consequences. The episodes in turn were pulled from almost all the releases of season 14, with several countries even demanding an apology. They didn't get one. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any shocking South Park episodes that we missed? Do you want a part 2? Or is there another show you want us to cover? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, Top 10 Shocking TV Moments That Took Things Too Far Part 2. Corky Coburn said, I'm surprised that this whole list wasn't populated entirely by South Park and The Simpsons. Lol, nope. But it is now. Ismail Mayet said, Lucy, you and Josh should host again, it was fun to see you two together. Well, we love hosting together, but we want to keep you guys on your toes. We can't give you what you want all the time now, can we? It's just not in my nature. Sean Brotherston said, can you guys do top 10 South Park episodes that took things too far? Your wish is my command. You're welcome. You are the reason we are doing this video. You win. Anthony Guarino said, I love your work, Lucy. Very professional. Well, shucks, thank you. You're the only one in the world to ever say that to me, so. And on that very sweet note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another Beyond the Screen vid. And until next time, see you later. Why do I say these things? These things. See, I'd love these tings if I was watching the video, but other people don't love these tings. If I was a rich celebrity. The clothes? They do it for the clout. If I was a rich celebrity, I'd be a Scientologist too, so I could get all the best roles like Tom Cruise. Just kidding.